Welcome to today's class. Susan is going to help me, and her cousin Franklin may also be helping. And we're going to do some stuff on the floor, as you might guess, since I have this set up here on the floor. So I have a couple of mats and a blanket. And just encourage you to get what you need to be comfortable, or as comfortable as possible, while doing some floor work. We'll be mostly doing stretching, some slow lying down yoga. But to begin with, just getting onto the floor, do whatever you need to do to be safe and to feel stable. So having a table nearby, having a chair. Oftentimes it's very helpful to use a chair, especially if you don't get down on the floor very often. It can be helpful and a way to start working on muscles that are required to get up and down from the floor. All right, so finding a way to come down onto hands and knees. And that by itself, if it's not something that you do very often or not something that's all that easy, just getting on the floor and standing up again. A friend of mine was telling me about a class that she had gone to, a balancing class, but one of the things that they were asked to do was get on the floor and then stand back up, which is not that easy. I found that to be not so easy. And so I've been practicing that and using some kind of support and just paying attention, to what do I need to do? There's some balancing going on to get down to my knees. And then to get back up, there's some balancing. So I have this leg 90 degrees. And now before standing up, I'm going to turn my foot on the back foot so that my toes are down. I'm prepared to push off. So using both legs to rise. Okay? So however you do it, coming down onto the floor and lying on your back. Now we're going to start just sort of relaxing here, but you have choices to make. So you can lie flat on your back if you want. Some people find this to be comfortable. Many people do not. A lot of people, especially with low back pain, can find this to be painful. And having the knees bent helps the angle of the low back. It really relieves much of the stress if lying flat is painful. So bending the knees, or if you're going to be lying down for a bit, having some kind of a prop that you can use. I've got two little blocks. I also have a meditation cushion, but putting something under the knees can help with that low back. It can also, another option is to use a chair. Some meditations are taught with people lying down. And one option for people is to have a chair that they can just put their legs on. So I can let my legs completely relax. And it makes my low back more safe. Well, there are just some things to keep in mind. We get on the floor. Okay, well, let's get on the floor. And just resting here with the knees bent, with the feet about hip width apart. And letting your knees rest together. The hands to the side, palms toward the ceiling. And just resting here. Let the body sort of settle. Let the body settle into the floor. It's feeling the weight of your body on the floor, feeling the areas that are making contact. The back of the head, the back of the shoulders, the low back, the feet. And then we'll start moving a little bit and do this with the breath. So as you breathe in, your hands up and back, reach back, and as you breathe out, bring the hands back down. So in up, and in breath, and hands down with the out breath. And just noticing how everything feels. Now I'm going to straighten my legs, just straighten myself out on the mat here. Okay, so lying flat and doing whatever you need. Always let your body have the final word. Okay, so first, I'm just moving my feet from side to side. And then I'm just paying attention to how does this feel? How do my hips feel? Okay or not? Now we're just kind of getting an idea. There are areas that are painful or tight. Well, then we just move more slowly. Okay, now bringing the feet closer to the bottom, bending the knees, and kind of raising the hips and letting them back down. And now just letting the knees move from side to side. Not in a hurry. If you want, letting your head move in the opposite direction, or just getting a little bit of a twist. Seeing the low back, a little bit of a twist all the way up the spine if you're looking from side to side. And then pausing with your knees to one side. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. When we take these deep breaths, there's a slight expansion in the body. And so you can just give a little bit of pressure from the inside. Let's let our knees go the other direction and just coming to rest on that side. And bringing your knees back up. If it's helpful, when you have your legs to the side and you're coming back up, do one leg at a time. Okay, now letting your feet move a little farther apart. And again, just back to moving the legs from side to side. And coming back to stillness. And now lifting the knees, pulling the knees up toward the chest, and holding onto your legs if you'd like. And now just rolling from side to side. And we're starting with the head and the shoulders and the hips all moving together so we can feel the weight on one side of the spine and then the other. Right? Franklin, are you going to help? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, good boy. Okay, now letting the head stay still, so the head continue gazing toward the ceiling and moving from side to side. Coming back to center. And extending one foot in the air. So pushing the heel toward the ceiling. You can just feel the stretch of the calf. Putting the other foot down on the mat. So the foot flat down. And now moving the foot. And just pointing and flexing the foot. Turning the foot in circles. One direction and then the other. And now drawing figure eights. And then figure eights backwards. And figure eights lying on their sides. And in the other direction. Coming to stillness. And just noticing how that feels in the ankle, all those little muscles and ligaments. Now, if you'd like, writing your name on the ceiling. And just coming to stillness. Just feeling that, the warmth, the tingling, whatever sensations you're aware of. This is a great way to just start tuning in to the insides of our body. All right, now bending the knee, pulling the knee toward the chest and raising the head up. So just bringing your forehead toward the knee. And take a couple of breaths here. And letting your head come down, bringing this foot down, and just pausing just to notice the difference. And also notice if, like, you want to do the other foot, you want them to match if you're kind of leaning into what seems logical to come next. And just kind of noticing the impulse. How often do we find ourselves doing something and we just totally missed, the impulse, the decision to do that, all of the action, and suddenly we're just in the middle of it. So, oh, thank you so much. Okay, so now doing the other side. So lifting one foot toward the ceiling. And now if this is a little tricky, you can put your palms facing down and sort of press into the mat. Doing point and flex. And then circling the foot. Oh, we don't need that, okay? Excuse me. Yeah, we don't need the sound effects here, okay? Yes, give me that. Okay, so with the other foot in the air, we're circling the foot in one direction and then the other. Again, just feeling the little muscles starting to wake up a little bit. Now doing the figure eights. Direction and then the other. And then figure eights falling on their side. One direction and then the other. These little muscles in my ankles get tired really quickly. I don't usually do this kind of stuff. And now writing your name. And try to keep all the muscles that you're not working with, try to keep them relaxed. Let the other leg be as relaxed as possible, or let your jaw be relaxed. Your shoulders. And then coming to stillness. And bending the knee, just bringing the knee close to the chest. Is feeling that, feeling the aftermath. Now bringing both knees up and just rolling from side to side. Putting the feet back down on the floor, and then extending the feet. And just feeling the body here. And bringing the arms out to the side, sort of in a T, and then just bringing one arm over the body toward the hand on the other side. And arms overhead. And bending both knees, and with the feet flat on the floor, taking a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, just letting the back arch and feeling how the pelvis is kind of tipping. And then as you breathe out, let the pelvis tip the other way. So sort of tightening, pressing the lumbar curve down, breathing in. And out. And so do this at the pace of your breath. Feel the movement of the spine with the breath. And coming to stillness. Now bringing the feet a little closer to the body and pressing down. So pressing your feet into the mat and lifting your hips off the floor. And we're just going to pause here. So let your face be relaxed. Let your shoulders and your arms be relaxed. Oh, it's just these muscles in your legs. Feel the muscles that are working. But let the rest of the muscles just relax. You can just hold this for a while. You could raise your hips higher if you want. Just noticing how that feels. I can feel the weight on my feet, the back of my head, my shoulder blades. There's plenty of room to breathe. The belly can move with the breath. And when you're ready, just letting the back slowly come back down towards the floor. And when you've released the weight, bringing both knees up. So this is a nice way to end in kind of a move like that. If you're arching the back, then curling up a little bit, just to let the back come back to where it was. And these are a few of the things that we could do lying on our back to just start warming up, loosening up. I can feel my muscles are warm. My body is ready to do something. While I'm here, while I'm on my back, I'll do some abdominal exercises. This is a perfect time, a perfect place to do that. And so to begin with, I have my lower legs parallel with the floor. Try to keep them kind of parallel with the floor and doing circles. So legs together and just a big circle. I can feel my weight shifting to one hip and the other, and just circling with my lower legs parallel to the floor. So I'm going from one direction and then the other. And looking toward the ceiling. You may look toward the screen now and then, but in general, looking toward the ceiling, that helps the angle of the neck stay neutral. So just a few circles if you want. If this is easy, then raising your head, raising your shoulders off the floor, but again with your head coming toward the ceiling. So not bending your head toward your knees. Okay, now while we're doing this, I'm going to come to stillness. And then kind of like a bicycle, but I'm just pushing one foot and then the other into the space in front of my body. Now I've still got my shoulders and my head raised. Again, I'm looking toward the ceiling. So I'm not bending my neck. If this is hard, put your head down. It's okay. I'm going to keep breathing. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed, your face relaxed. Try to keep the low back pressed against the floor as best you can. Right, coming to stillness. Now I'm just going to hold on to my knees. So letting my abdominal muscles relax. Then once again, just pushing the feet away from the body. You can feel your abdominal muscles down. I'd like to move a little from side to side. So I'm keeping my head and shoulders off the floor. Hey. Breathing. To stillness. Now I'm putting my hands behind my head, although I'm not going to use my hands to pull. So not pulling the neck. And then I'm just going opposite elbow to knee. You can probably feel different areas of the abs. Here is much more on the obliques, muscles of the side of the body. And coming to stillness, bringing your hands behind you, extending the feet. And just taking a couple of breaths. Letting the belly relax a little. Then we're going to turn over to one side. So just bending one leg, pushing down with that foot, and rolling over to the side. And now just coming to rest. So the elbow bent, my head resting in my hand and just raising one leg. Raising and lowering a few times, and then bringing the foot up. And just pausing here. And once again, just feeling the muscles. And like noticing the muscles that you want to be working, these muscles in your legs. But you don't need your jaw. Really, most of the work here is just in this one leg. And as best you can, letting the other leg be relaxed. And now slowly putting the foot down and feeling it relax. Feeling that wave of relaxation when the weight is finally on the floor. But then let's just lift it once again. And you can move your foot around a little bit if you want. And then once again, just letting this leg come down. Feeling that relaxation. We could start developing a relaxation response, the same way that body has a fight or flight response. Okay, let's turn it over to the other side. I'm going to go this way, just so I'm staying facing you. And raising the leg. Raise it and lower it a couple of times. And then just raising the leg and holding it steady here. And as best you can, let all the rest of the body relax. So the face relaxed, hand relaxed. The other leg, the leg's that isn't working, let that leg be relaxed. Don't let that leg come down very slowly. And when it does, feeling the muscles relax. It's just sort of like a wave. And then, once again, picking up that leg. And bringing that leg down. And just feeling it let go, feeling the muscles let go. And coming onto the stomach. Just lying flat on the stomach with your head turned one way or the other. And feeling your breath here. And you feel the in-breath, pressing the belly into the floor. Feeling the back kind of expanding and relaxing with the breath. And just noticing that just it's different. Feeling the breath when you're lying on your stomach is different. That's all. And noticing the difference. And bringing your hands forward. And you've got your elbows below your shoulders. Hands on the floor. And just feeling the body here. And bringing your knees forward. So we're kind of going into hands and knees. And then letting the bottom come back so that you're coming into what's often called a child's pose. And just feeling the body here. Letting it rest as much as possible. Just noticing the breath. I'm going to work our way back to standing. There are a number of ways we can use a chair. Get up the opposite way that we got down. If you can come into a hands and knees, and tucking your toes under and raising the hips. And just coming into a downward dog. And just walking your feet forward a little bit, or walking your hands back a little bit till you feel balanced on your feet, and then coming up, sort of curling the back up, letting your head come back last. I'm just coming back to standing here. And noticing how the body feels. There's a little bit of exercise. Let my knees be soft and just turning side to side. Is just noticing again how it is inside. I find that I'm surprised actually that my neck feels pretty good. Feels pretty loose. And I feel like I just got a nice little workout without didn't feel like I was expending as much energy as I was.